Welcome to the Pharmacy Owners Alliance podcast. I'm Patrick Kiddo, Director of Marketing and Vendor Relations here at POA. Joining me this week is a longtime friend of POA, Mehrdad Hariri from RxConnexion. Mehrdad's company offers a variety of valuable programs for independent pharmacies, and today we're going to talk to him about one of his newest programs, CostPlus Rx. Welcome, Mehrdad, and thank you for joining me today.
Hey, Patrick, thank you for inviting me again to your podcast. I'm really excited. We've got some great information and news about our new program that I want to discuss with everyone. So uh, just go right
Okay.
ahead, and you can ask me whatever if you want to give you an introduction, whatever. But I'll let you start, Patrick. Go ahead.
Okay, let's dive right in. Tell us what Cost Plus RX program is and how independent pharmacies can benefit from it.
Okay, thanks, Patrick. The Cost Plus RX program, we've all heard of it, right? Mark Cuban's, and there are some other companies. Even I heard Optum RX a couple of weeks ago announced that they're going to have a Cost Plus program, more of a transparent pricing that their clients or their insured members can access. But our Cost Plus RX program, which is our program, is a game-changing solution that allows independent pharmacies to offer medications at a transparent upfront pricing, without any PBM interference. It empowers the pharmacy to be the most affordable option in town by showing patients and providers real-time insurance prices, local pharmacy prices, and pharmacy's own cost plus cash price, all into one system. And the result is better access, stronger patient loyalty, and more cash-based revenue. Right? It's a great way to bring in customers and let the doctors know, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I think what you just mentioned about it gives transparency because there are times I know that when I paid my copay, it actually would have been cheaper to pay cash.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
um,
that's it.
I know certain stores would be concerned about their information, their pricing getting out to somebody that's not a patient. So can you control this?
So we provide patients, doctors, and pharmacies their own portal. So they all can access their own portal. They can can build their own medication profile. And even for the doctors, we even give them their medication profile by showing them exactly what they prescribe every day in their office. So they don't need to do any guesswork. What do I prescribe? These are the list of 100, 150 top drugs that you prescribe at your pharmacy and the number of prescriptions, number of patients. So with that in mind, you can take a look at your cost plus for these products and see where you can save your patients money. For the patients, we have a fantastic way for them to be engaged in the app by providing they can set their own medication reminders, appointment reminders. They can connect to the pharmacy by the way of scheduling a call. Also, the pharmacy can bring in on their patient resources and include a whole bunch of resources like flyers, brochures, cards, things that the patients can use, as well as audio and video instructions that they can actually let the patient look at inside their app, that they can educate them, they can inform them about their different options that they may have for their medications or anything else. It doesn't have to be just cost plus, anything, diabetes or anything else. So you can educate your patients in many ways. Now, also in the patient's app, they have all the medications that the pharmacy added to their cost plus, and they can go add it to My Meds. And from My Meds, they can get local pricing, they can get your price, and they can get what the price will be on their insurance. Now, the beauty of this is that as a pharmacist, you can actually see that and say, hey, look at that. I mean, patients paying $50 copay where my cost plus is only 25. So do I want to let the patient know that, hey, don't, if you want to get on my cost plus, it's only going to cost you $25. Okay. And then aside from all the things that's available to the patients, and there's a lot more tools and little things that we've added into the patient side, you got the pharmacy side. On the pharmacy side, the uh, uh, pharmacy can do real-time coverage, uh, eligibility verification, pull up the latest insurance for the patient. The doctors can add patients from their office. Pharmacy can see it. They can verify eligibility and then reply to the doctor for the medications that the doctor is asking for the cost. So basically, this little ecosystem, I mean, it builds a environment where the end goal is to save patients money and saving them money, and for the pharmacy, kind of independence from the PBMs, right? Right? I mean, the less they do, the more you win, I guess. The pharmacy wins, right? And the patient wins too, you know? And you don't have to worry about, and your reliability, you rely on, say, 80% of your income coming from PBMs. If you can just lower that by 10%, 20%, 30%, or maybe 100%. I mean, I'm sure you may have some pharmacies right now, Patrick, that are only cost plus, correct?
There are
Yeah,
a
yeah.
number out there.
I know a number of pharmacies that they don't take any insurance. It's all cost plus. So the end result, you know, save patients money, uh, uh, improve the loyalty, patients' loyalty to your brand, and bring in more clients. As you know, word of mouth. If one patient calls another one, say, go to this pharmacy, see how much you can save. And just the cycle continues.
Well, it
Yeah.
sounds like a win-win-win for the doctor, for the patient, and for the pharmacy. So it'd be fair to say that the pharmacy is like the hub between the doctor and the patient to be able to coordinate pricing and the best treatment for the patient.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, patients save money, doctors get real-time medication availability, and soon they'll be able to compare different medications. Well, that's it's in the plan coming up soon, where you'll be able to get the which drug would be less expensive for my patient. Is it Paxil or is it Prozac? Okay, and the system will be able to tell you, and you can transmit that to the doctor. The doctor can see it, and the end result is, a better prescribing decision. And pharmacies boost revenue while, deepening the trust in the community. And it's a triple win. It's a true triple win for the pharmacy, patient, and the doctor.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah.
Yeah. So when we talked earlier, kind of getting an idea of what we were going to talk about today, you mentioned something about when a pharmacy checks an insurance price, it dings them and they have to do a reversal and they can, after time, the insurance company question it.
Right.
You said this avoids that.
Right. Well, as we have probably heard, or if we haven't, we can tell you that right now, is that there were times that pharmacies were just running test claims and running let's say you want to create a program, you want to check 50 drugs and see what the insurance price will be for these medications, right? You go in, you made a dummy account, and you just keep transmitting claim to the third party, say to CVS Caremark, and for this drug, number 30, one a day, and then you get the copay and then reverse it. Then you go back, do the same thing for the next drug, and so on and so forth. And I mean, we used to do that. I'm going back 15 years ago. And the reason for that is that we want to know ahead of time what the drugs will cost so that we can let the doctors know that, for example, Advair is $10 at my pharmacy, right? If I can tell the doctor Advair is $10 at my pharmacy and say he doesn't know what it'll be at CVS or Walmart, well, he would just send it to us and let us handle it and give it to the patient for $10. So these kind of claim submission, okay, they call it phishing according to PBMs, right? And they don't like that. As a matter of fact, there was a memo that went out a few years back saying that if you do a lot of test claims and reversing and all of that stuff, then we're going to come after you and we're going to basically cancel your, I was going to call membership, but your contract with us. and then you're screwed. Basically, you just can't transmit any more CVS Caremark because you did a lot of phishing, and that's not acceptable. It's not. Now they have it in their own provider manual. So now with this type of system, you don't know. I mean, they have no, you can do as many test claims as you want. This is basically an environment that you just basically sending patient. You're saying for this patient ID group, what is going to be his copay for a certain drug, right? And it's not pharmacy specific. So they don't know if it's for Bob's pharmacy or Joe's pharmacy. Okay. So that's the whole beauty of it. Now, you can use this. It's a very powerful tool that you can now use this system, like just like we did for like eye drops or colonoscopy or COPDs or diabetes. You can run a whole bunch of test claims and compile all of these. As a matter of fact, our system keeps record of all these, so you don't need to write them down. It just you could go back to the history and look at all the prices that you ran through and take a look at the costs and co-pays and how much money you made or how much money you're going to lose. I ran a claim for myself on Monjuro, okay, and with my insurance came up to $964 copay, okay. Well, I looked up and Monjuro costs about 1,025, right? So if I was the pharmacy, I would have been losing call it about $75, right? Do I want to fill that prescription? No, I don't. I mean, I know ahead of time that I can't, why would I want to fill this prescription? And on top of it, why do I even want to transmit that, for example, to the PBM? Because as you know, data is everything, right? PBMs, when you transmit a claim and it comes back saying drug not covered, what really happens behind the curtain? Behind the curtain, CVS, Express Script, all these people can see that you ran a prescription for Patrick, from Dr. Jones, for Monjuro, and it's not covered, right? Now, if they have some sort of a program now, and everybody knows it's not a secret, these type of prescriptions go in some other kind of queue, and now the PBM goes out and gets prescriptions from the doctor. They get another prescription from a physician, and now they go to drug companies and they say, "Hey, Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk, we have a bunch of clients that are taking Monjuro, no, Wegovy, and all that kind of stuff, and we know who they are, and we actually have a prescription for them. These are folks that went to a pharmacy and tried to get a prescription filled. However, they couldn't get it because the cost was too high; it wasn't covered. What can we do together?" And of course, the drug company is going to jump at the opportunity and say, "Well, okay, go ahead. We'll just sell you," and I'm just making these up, okay? So
Yeah.
it's not, why don't you just go ahead and we'll sell you drugs at 500 and you just bill us 750, you're going to make $250 a script. Behind the curtain, nobody sees what's going on behind the curtain. How much Eli Lilly is selling these drugs to the PBMs or insurance companies. They don't know how much rebate is being, going back and forth between these entities. And those kind of revenues are kind of lost at a pharmacy, right? You're losing these revenues, you're losing these patients, and everybody just sit there and wonder, what happened? Why am I not getting any prescriptions? Why am I, if this Wegovy, Monjuro, Zepbound, these are number one selling drugs, how come I'm not getting any prescriptions? And if I do, I'm always losing $100. What's the deal? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we hear this all day long. So there are many, many ways that you could be using this Cost Plus program other than just, let check eligibility, check prices. Okay. Because now all three entities, whether it be patient, provider, or the pharmacy, you're all communicating with each other. Everything's transparent. Doctor knows exactly, what the patient is paying. The patient knows exactly how much their insurance price is, how much they're expected to pay. So for patient, it becomes a predictable cost. It's no surprise walking into a farm. I've seen that as a pharmacist with over 40 years of experience. How many people walked into my pharmacy? What? $500? I can't afford that. And I'm like, okay, well, the doctor never told me it's going to be 500.
Yeah, right.
Well, if they would have told you, right, maybe, you would have said, "Hey, doc, can you write for something else? Can you give me another drug? I don't want to pay $500." And so this is the whole meat of this program. And then what we do also with a Cost Plus, we added another touch to the whole process. Process is that you, as a patient, you come in, how much is my Prozac? Well, it's $5.85. And he said, well, yeah, but I don't have a prescription. I'm out of refills, right? I want to get this medication for $5.85. I don't have a prescription. What do I do? Well, the patient, right from their app, they can send a refill request to the patient, to the doctor, right?
Hebrew.
And it's saying, the fax is saying, hey, man, this is, you know, Mehrdad Hariri, I want to get my Prozac refill. Send it to the pharmacy above, right? And the doctor, of course, can fax it back, e-scribe it, whatever they want to do, they can send it back to the pharmacy. And not only that, so instead of pharmacy sending a fax, the patient sending a fax. And the pharmacy have access to these kind of information, right? You know what your patient asked for. And you can go in the fax queue and say, hey, this guy asked for Prozac 2 days ago, right? But the doctor haven't responded to me. Let me pick up the phone and call him. Hey, doctor, you just get this fax from Mrs. Jones? Yeah, I did. Is it okay 1 time, 10 times, whatever? Get that prescription. Capture that revenue. Don't wait till somebody passes it down to you. And we all, as pharmacists, are kind of guilty of it. We're always waiting for somebody to give us the prescription. Why don't you go get the prescription, correct? I mean, doesn't that make sense? I mean, that's what you want to do. And then another icing on the cake that we have, let's just say your patient comes to you and they got into a fight with their doctor, or they're new in town. They don't have a doctor, right? And I see a black cat back there, and Patrick, he's doing pretty good. He's looking at you.
That's Oliver. We'll get him to get
That's Oliver. Yeah, I've got Mr. Lee at home. He's just like that. Okay, so they're cute animals. All right. So anyway, so what's going to happen here is that the patient comes to you and says, "Hey, I'm new in town, and I just moved. I don't know where to go to." Or the doctor says, "Next appointment on July 31st. I can't wait. What do you take?" Prozac. Well, how much is Prozac going to be, Mehrdad? Well, let me see. On our Cost Plus, it's $5.85. I need a prescription, right? Yeah, you do. Where do I get the prescription? Boom, right there. You can use all that telemedicine that we provide. It's already built into the Cost Plus. Tell the patient, click on that link, request a online visit. The doctor sees the patient and sends the prescription to the pharmacy, and you can give it to the patient for $5.85. How convenient is that? I mean, and they can do that anywhere from the airport. They can do it from home. They can do it on weekends. They can do it at 10 o'clock at night, whenever that may be. And then you come first thing in the morning, there's all your prescription lined up in your telemedicine program, and, go on and make money.
Well, I had the benefit of seeing the platform that the pharmacist uses, and I urge everybody that's listening to contact you so you can show them the platform and
Of course,
the demonstration.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're more than happy to give them a demo and show them exactly what it is and how you can benefit. Plus, we provide these pharmacists with all the marketing resources, such as cards, like business cards with QR codes. You can take to doctors' offices. Doctors can hand them to the patient. Patients scan the QR code and they create an account, right? And they go into your Cost Plus, right? And now these patients go in your Cost Plus. What did you just get? You got a patient's information. Not everybody come to your pharmacy, right? But if you pass these cards out, the patients go in, create an account. Now you have their name, phone number, and you got their email, right? And with our AI technology, that's another thing that's inside the patient and the pharmacist side, is the AI, the good old artificial intelligence. Now, what does that do? Well, it retains all those patient information now. You're keeping all that information without having been inside of your PMS, right? You're retaining all that information. Hey, you just, let's say over the course of 6 months, you just got 700 people's name and phone number or whatever in there, right? Right from our CRM, okay, that's built into the Cost Plus and into our AI solutions that we provide, why don't you send text messages to your patients once a month? Why don't you send an email? Why don't you have a little health, uh, you know, health health clinic on a Saturday for diabetes? Invite them to come over and get a free blood glucose monitor and a dozen donuts, right? No, that's not how it works, right? But that's, I mean, that's how you want to use this kind of resources to grow your audience, your business. And trust me, when providers, doctors see your pharmacy being active in such ways that's helping their patients, I will promise you, I've been there and I've done that. I will promise you they will continually sending you new patients and asking you to help them reduce their cost, out-of-pocket cost, and help them with their compliance packaging, whatever else that you, immunization, whatever that you're trying to do, right? I mean, that's the name of the game these days, you know?
Yep. And also arranging so that the PBM is not involved, so they're not flaking their DIR fee. If you're able to sell the patient something for cost plus, that certainly is better. When you showed me on the platform, one thing that I found interesting was you said the pharmacy can set what their cost plus percentage would be. Can they do that by patient, or is it all the same standard?
Well, I mean, there are different pricing tables that you set for, when you set up your cost plus medications, right? You can always, you set different pricing tables and you can, based on the popularity of the drug, okay, you can set the markup in such ways that, your price that you provide in your cost plus is less than, for example, because what our system does is actually shops the lowest cost for discount cards. So it goes and looks at a discount cards in your area and says, at the, you know, somebody's using a discount card, and I don't want to say good RX card, but something like good RX card or anything else, it's $15. Copay for the patient is $25, and your cost plus is $12.30, right? And you're just saving the patient $3, $4, whatever that may be, correct?
Yeah, when
I
they're
mean,
not paying that card fee.
yeah, and then the pharmacist can then either email that directly from his back end to the patient so that he can see the result and said, oh, look, I did this. Let me email it to the patient. The patient gets a nice little PDF with all this detail, all the drugs and everything else all printed on there all custom to the pharmacy with their name directly to the uh, patient. Patient opens, oh, look, they can walk into your pharmacy and, hey, I want to get this medication, whatever. And the doctors as well. You can send these things to the doctor, emailing him, of course, emailing doctors. It's not, most doctors don't want you to email them things like that. But what you can do, and that's what we encourage you to do with the doctors, is that at least once a month or so, especially those doctors that you work with closely, make it a visit, make it a habit to go see them once a month. You know, take them a half a dozen donuts, some pens, scratch pads, whatever, just to say hello, leave him a card, or refill those cost plus cards at their office. We give you flyers, brochures, posters, everything you need, okay, at no cost, okay? It's all built into the system too, so you don't need to have that. Everything's there. You can just download a PDF and run down to FedEx store, get it printed, and put it on your window. Take it to the doctor's office, okay? And it's truly it's a fantastic system. I'm really proud of what we have built here for the pharmacies. It's a game-changing program. It really is, you know.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about it. I think it is as well. It seemed like you thought about everything. And
Yeah.
so I want to urge people, as I said, to contact you to get the demo done. So how would they reach you?
Well, I mean, you can always go to our website, www.rxconnexion, ConneXion.com. There's a connection, just like a normal connection, but they're in Canada, so they get a lot of calls. People don't know what we're talking about, but make sure you go to RxConnexion, RxConnexion.com. You can schedule a call with us. 15, 20 minutes. We can show you exactly what this is all about. If that's what you like, you can always, just register right online. And not only that, but another thing that we provide at RxConnexion is that we are your digital and print marketing central for everything you do digital. You need a website? We can build you a website. And we can build all these cost plus stuff, telemedicine, everything, build it right into your website for you. Not only that, but we do like any kind of digital marketing, running ads, Google Business Analytics, SEOs, geofencing, whatever digital your pharmacy needs, we can provide you at a very, very uh, affordable price that everybody can afford. And there's one of our members that was paying close to about $4,000. And I'll be more than happy to folks to call me. I'll release their name, but you know, paying almost 4,000 bucks a month. Of course, this pharmacy does a lot of business, so $4,000, you know, still a good amount of money. But everything that we gave them, okay, and more, only amounted to $1,200. It was so good that he just recently, last couple of weeks, he came back. He bought another package of something else that's going to cost him $1,400. Even with that package and the previous package, he's still paying less than what he was paying the other guy, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I love about your programs. You have it so they all dovetail together, and
Right.
you can put together pieces and parts to make the package that best suits what your needs are.
Correct.
So that
Yeah,
I
because
think
we
it
because we found out, Patrick, is that not everybody, you show different pack. We got about 13 different solutions right now, right? And it's all like a back office for your pharmacy. Not everybody wants cash flow. Some people want something else. So this a la carte. You can do pick and choose what you like, Yeah.
well then before we wrap up, is there anything else about the Cost Plus RX program that we maybe didn't cover that you'd like to touch base on?
Well, the only thing that I know that we're getting a couple of calls because we've already had quite a few pharmacies calling us and asking us, "Hey, I'm ready to go." I had one this morning that says, "Sign me up. I'm ready to go." You know, uh, One thing that I would like to let everybody know, and that's the good old story about these PBMs, is that when you have a cost plus program, okay, you if you have, let's say, 150 drugs on that program, you have to make sure that you submit your usual and customary to the PBM, right? And if you have a cost plus program, that price becomes your usual and customary. So don't go and transmit, $165 for a 30 Prozac and get $2.75 back. Try to align your pricing table with your cost plus so that you're at least very close to, your cost plus or the same price as cost plus. So you can just override those prices so that you don't get into trouble with PBMs. That's the only thing about the cost plus is that PBMs, I know everybody's scared of these PBMs. They come and want to get you and all that kind of stuff. But if you just follow a simple thing, simple check, and just make sure your usual and customary is what's going to be on your cost plus program, you're not going to have a single iota of issues or any problems with any PBM. Okay.
Good advice. Yes, very good advice. So tell us one last time how people reach you.
Okay. I'm Mehrdad, and you can call 888-442-8348. Again, it's 888-442-8348. That's our toll-free number. Or rxconnexion.com. CONNEXION, rxconnexion.com. Yeah. Yeah, we'd love to talk to all of the colleagues. We love it. This is what we're here every day, working for independent pharmacies, helping them grow their business.
Well, having been doing this business for nearly 40 years, I have to say
Over
I love.
40 years. Over 40. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm coming up on that 40, right behind you.
Over 40 years. Yeah.
Having seen that and all the programs that are out there, I think you've put together the best suite of programs and packages that people can have. So I do urge them to call you. And I want to thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you.
And let people know, too, that you have other programs and we will be covering them in future podcasts.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you, Patrick. I really appreciate you having me on your podcast and look forward to helping your members grow their business and stay in business and make money. That's the main thing. We want you to make money.
I
not
want to
lose
make that
money.
40-year mark, so I need more. I need to
Exactly.
be here longer.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
All right, thank you, sir. You have a great afternoon.
You too, sir. Thank you, Patrick. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.